Yep.
Awesome. So Travis, this may be a little bit of recap for you, but for everyone else that'll be kind of seeing this presentation for the first time, I'm going to give a walkthrough of what an implementation with Absorb looks like, what ongoing support would look like, recap some of the features and functionality that would have been a part of our demo, help make Absorb unique. And then I've got two different proposal options that are largely meant to mirror the previous proposal, Travis, I walked you through, but add in that element for the B2B side. And then we'll have plenty of time at the end for questions. All told, this will probably be a 10-minute or so. Yeah,
Okay.
10 minutes to walk through. Perfect. So should you choose to partner with Absorb, our standard implementation journey is going to be about 8 to 9 weeks. It really all starts with that initial kickoff, the week, week or two after we've kind of gone through and sorted all the paperwork, done the procurement process. That first meeting is really just to kind of sit down, get introduced to your dedicated implementation project manager, have those introductions, timelines, discussion, goal setting, etc. So we can really hit the ground running in week 2 with that plan, configure, or building phase of the implementation. This is where the bulk of that workload is going to take place. It's where you'll have the most kind of one-on-one training from our team. It's where we'll give you the most, homework, if you will, between those meetings. And it's really putting in those foundational elements so that when we get to week 6, we've done the bulk of the work. And now we're really just testing what we built, making sure everything is functioning according to design. So in week 7, you're able to begin, adding on or inviting your users into the system, assigning them training, seeing that reporting data populate. And then the last couple of weeks are really just there for continued monitoring, making sure everything is going according to plan still. Any questions on that timeline?
Nope.
There are a few ways you can customize that implementation journey, such as charity. This is where we would also include that scheduled data import. If we're going to be pulling in that user data from Sugar CRM, it's where we're going to be able to set up your single sign-on, migrate over any historical data, and each of those can add 1 to 2 weeks to that implementation timeline as well. So once implementation does wind down, you will say goodbye to your dedicated implementation project manager, but this is where you'll meet your ongoing support team. So for the sake of our proposal today, I want us to pay attention to the middle column, the elite service with the blue dots. So with Absorb, all customer support is 24/7, 365. Our support teams are located around the globe, so someone is always available and online and able to assist you. Everyone that works for Absorb in our support and implementation teams, they're all actual Absorb employees. Nothing's been outsourced, so you will always work with someone that is an Absorber like myself. Additionally, you get access to a dedicated sandbox to test and iterate changes in that sandbox environment before you decide to enroll them or roll those out in your production environment. That refreshes quarterly, annual business review, dozen hours of one-on-one training to use as you see fit every year, but most notably that dedicated client success manager, someone that you work with in perpetuity for our partnership. They can really understand your use case and be that person in the trenches with you and your best internal advocate for continued success with Absorb. There's no other questions. Happy to keep going. So as far as things that make Absorb unique, things recapping from the demo, Absorb Engage is going to refer to all of our learner engagement functionalities. So this is things like our leaderboards for gamification, collaborations for social learning, polls and surveys for gathering feedback, maybe more applicable to the B2B side of the B2C side of the business there. Absorb Create is going to be our online course building tool. We've got 5 licenses for that included in the proposal, including the ability to use our new Create AI to quickly build out those courses in minutes. Absorb Analyze is going to be where the proposals differentiate for each other. So just like I did in our original proposal review, Travis, I did one proposal with Absorb Analyze, one without, and Analyze is our built-in BI and reporting tool. So you still have full access to custom reporting without Absorb Analyze. The difference is just the presentation of that data. Analyze is going to be much more visual in nature. And then lastly, something else that would again be specific to the B2B, B2C side of the business here. Absorb Amplify is our content library, if that is applicable, looking for that ready-made content library, not included in the proposal, but wanted to highlight it here again. So if there's no questions, what I'll do on the next slide is get into the actual proposal. I'll kind of talk through it piece by piece. Pause for a moment to catch my breath, let you read through it on your own, ask any questions, and then I'll just quickly click through to the second one that again is inclusive of that additional reporting functionality.
Brandon, you said Absorb Amplify is not included in the proposal?
Correct. So yeah, if you were looking to add on any content library subscriptions, I could follow up with a different proposal on that, or we could always set up another conversation with a member of our content team to find the right package within the Amplify library that's going to best meet your needs. But Amplify would be for employees only.
Why would that be?
Uh,
Curious.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just the way it's licensed. It doesn't support kind of the external users at this time. But I can follow up on that and see if I can get some clarity there. Charity, were you looking for kind of that pre-made content library?
Yes, we have one now that allows us to do like communication skills, sales, marketing skills, even like mindfulness, different things like that, that we launched to our owners and they really like it. So we currently have external content that we provide.
Okay, who provides that content today?
Our LMS provider,
So it's direct through Litmos.
correct.
Let me look into that and I'll see if there's any flexibility there because a lot of the topics you mentioned would be covered by Amplify.
Yeah, so remember, these are all small business owners. So things like communication skills, things like Microsoft Excel, I mean, they seem like basic things. So they all use them.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, let me look into that and maybe I'm mistaken. I know at first Amplify was kind of for internal learners only, but maybe that's changed. I'll double check, or we may have another content library that could be a fit there as well.
Okay.
Thanks for bringing that up. Any other questions before we see the numbers? Okay. Again, Travis, this will look very familiar to you. It's largely the same proposal we shared way back when. It's just including a few additional things to account for that external audience. So again, term here is going to be for 36 months, and then there's going to be two groups of users. So we've got our 1,300 internal learners that make up the B2C side of the business. And essentially, these are going to be fully transferable user license that are based on a tiered model. So you could actually grow that internal number up to 1,500 at no additional charge. As learners are onboarding, offboarding, these licenses can be reclaimed and reassigned. And again, your user provisioning from that end will be fully automated with our ADP integration. On the external side, each user that accesses the LMS, they're going to claim a license. They're going to hold that license for a 12-month period. And if they never use the system again after 12 months, you never incur a charge for them again. But if they reuse the system after kind of 12 months and into month 13, then you would have that per user fee kick in again. And what that user fee is going to be is for the first 7,000 learners that we're estimating you would use, that's going to be $5 per learner. If you exceed that 7,000, each additional learner would be $6.30. So Charity, that's kind of what I was talking about at the starting point. We can ramp that 7,000 up or down based on how you forecast the actual number of users to match what you anticipate and give you the best price there.
But if they do not log in, then they don't count.
It's only those that log in and get assigned a license because they're accessing the system and then they're able to take training. So if they never log in, you won't incur a charge for them. Additional things included here are going to be our full kind of learner engagement functionality, that 24/7, 365 customer support with a dedicated CSM. This is going to be custom reporting without the visualization of Absorb Analyze. We'll also include our SSL wildcard certificate. So Charity, this is something you talked about on our last call. This would allow us to have totally separate URLs for your two audiences should you wish. There are those 5 content authoring licenses via Absorb Create. The scheduled data feed that will pull in information from Sugar CRM for your user provisioning on the B2B side. And again, no charge on our end for that ADP sync. So that comes out to the billed annual total of around 92,000. And then on the implementation side, it's going to include coverage for that full 8 to 9 week onboarding timeline, setting up single sign-on for both sides of the business, historical data migration to bring over learner data from Litmos, as well as 8 hours of design work from our branding team.
Brendan, can you explain a little bit more what that wildcard SSL certificate is? It says it supports multiple subdomains, but is it still one instance where all of the learners are together?
It's going to be one LMS, but with that, you can customize your domain and have multiple subdomains so that, again, Charity, your employees can have a different link they'll log into or a URL. Same with Travis and his team. And again, on the back end, from a user permission standpoint, it can be a totally separated or total division. So one side of the house never sees the other side of the house, etc.
What happens if at the end of 3 years, I don't want to go forward with Absorb, but Marilyn and team want to stay with my Absorb?
So at the end of 3 years, if we did nothing, you didn't communicate with us at all, there would be an auto renewal for another 12 months. But the more likely scenario is you're going to be working with your account manager. You could determine you want to go another route for your learning, but Travis and Marilyn want to continue with Absorb, and we would be able to, for lack of a better word, downsize your account at that time.
Brandon, are we able to, I know internally I've come across this where auto renewal language has been removed from contracts. Is there another way around that?
We can turn off the auto renewal at the end of the 36 months.
Okay.
The risk you have to take on at that point, though, is Maryland, say you want to continue with Absorb, but if for whatever reason you're not in with us, you don't communicate that renewal. If auto renewal is disabled, you do risk an interruption of service.
Okay.
Any other questions here? No, I can just click over to proposal 2.
How much is the content library alone? And it's not included, but like if it was added, what's this?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
It is going to be based on the package you get within Amplify and the total number of learners as well. So,
okay.
But on the low end, probably at least another 20, 30,000.
Okay.
And then here's that second proposal again. It's more of the same, but this includes the full BI and analytics capabilities with Absorb Analytics. Questions, comments, feedback?
So with the first option, would we still have basic reporting or Absorb Analyze? I can't remember at this point. I apologize from the demos, but are we not getting any reporting capabilities with this first option? Is that only available with Absorb Analyze?
You're still getting all of our pre-built report templates and the ability to build out any custom reporting requirements. But the difference is presentation of data. So Analyze is more of a BI visualization tool. So in the first scenario, your output's going to be more like a table report. So rows and columns of data versus a pie chart, a line chart, a bar graph.
Okay, got it.
Brandon, if we wanted to add more content authors, because I know you have only 5 authoring tools, licenses there. And I believe we have more than that between Marilyn and I combined that would need access to that. What would that look like for us?
Depending on quantity, those vary from about 1,100 to 1,500 per. Do you have a more accurate number you'd like me to update this for when I share these slides later today?
Yeah, I have 3 on my side that would need access to it, and Marilyn on your side.
I'd say at least 4, so 7.
Yeah, I can update that to be 7. Again, yeah, that will make a huge difference.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, I can definitely kind of update the slide to reflect 7 content licenses, and I'll share these with you all before end of day today. But as far as kind of next steps, anything on my radar we should be planning for or expect to kind of hear from you all?
Brandon, I'd like to know how much that content library is. And I would like to know if it can be leveraged for B2B.
Yes, absolutely. I will take that as my homework, and I should be able to get an answer for you by end of week.
Okay.
Okay.
Travis, let me get back to you. I think we might want to loop our other content. I don't know that I need to see it again, but we might want to loop our other content author in if we're going to have a demo just to get her perspective.
Yeah, let us know. We're always happy to do additional demonstrations if fast. And
Awesome.
then do we want to plan any time to reconnect in a week or so? Just to maybe avoid the email tag. Right, perfect. Well, if I don't hear from you all this week, I'll look to reach out next week. But if you have any questions, you're welcome to reach out sooner. And we're here to help and do what I can to conclude your evaluation of Absorb and give you the best impression of our LMS.
Thank you, Brandon. We
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Brandon. Appreciate all the information.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Bye.